Tēnā tātou katoa. I'm Andrea Stocchero, a sustainability architect and portfolio leader, trees to high-value wood products at Scion. Today, I'm going to present on the use of sustainable wood for building sustainably. Shit, can I start again?
Keep recording.
Okay, thank you.
3, 2, 1.
Today, I'm going to present on the use of sustainable wood for sustainable buildings. Back in Italy, I designed and built using timber and bio-based materials. And that's why I have a declared love for trees and wood. And when I see a forest, I also see the future sustainable buildings that we can build using the wood that is coming from that forest. In this presentation, I'll provide a perspective on the beneficial use of wood in construction to address some of the challenges faced by the building sector. Buildings and housing supply and affordability are ongoing issues. And our existing and even our new building stocks are often designed to be affordable, which means cheap often, and discounting on quality and resulting in low performance and low healthiness issues. Overall, this means low social, economic, and environmental sustainability outcomes for our construction sector. There are many attempts in New Zealand to transform the building sector, one of which is the MB Building for Climate Change, which aims at reducing operational carbon emissions through higher building energy efficiency, which in turn would also improve the quality of life and well-being of occupants. And it also aims to lower the building's embodied carbon emissions over the building life cycle. This is using low carbon materials, and this is where wood could shine or fail. I am sure that unlike other audiences I've been presenting to, you are well aware of the holistic benefits, environmental, social, economic, and even cultural, that make locally grown and manufactured wood an ideal solution for building sustainably. So rather than listing those, I am keen to show that those benefits are being recognized internationally by initiatives such as the New European Bauhaus by the European Community. The new Bauhaus is looking, using their words, at how to reforest our planet and retimber our cities. This as a key European strategy to fight climate change and transition to a circular bioeconomy. They are looking at how to engage with the wood sector to contribute and co-create solutions that would enable this transition to a circular bioeconomy and a low carbon future. Using the words of the President of the European Commission, we know that the construction sector can even be turned from a carbon source into a sink if organic building materials like wood and smart technologies are applied. And the Sustainable Wood for a Sustainable World initiative by the United Nations recognized already in 2017 that sustainable wood value chains deliver benefits towards all the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. These include fighting climate change and supporting intergenerational equity and well-being. Those are high priorities also in the New Zealand agenda. Is home to world-leading timber engineering and wood processing and products innovations. We have innovative buildings being built in New Zealand, such as Scion, Te Wharenui or Tuteata, that are showcasing in New Zealand and to the world how using locally grown and manufactured wood products and cutting-edge structural solutions can deliver more earthquake resilience, sustainability, and carbon neutrality opportunities for our construction sector. Therefore, we could say that the foundational components to maximize the use of wood in construction and decarbonize the building sectors are already here. This is why transitioning towards a forest-based circular bioeconomy, including building sustainable buildings, cities and communities by maximizing the use of local wood, seem not only desirable, but also possible. However, what is missing to get New Zealand grown and manufactured wood celebrated as a solution to those urgent construction issues? What do we need to do to move to that future? The challenges of building with wood are similar to the ones faced by the construction sector, about affordability, performance, health, sustainability, and supply. Timber buildings are mostly perceived to be too expensive to build, and the current market does not fully value the quality and holistic whole-of-life benefits of building with wood. The performance of some of our species or products is not yet fully proven or acknowledged as required by standards and regulations. And the leaky building crisis is still casting a shadow on timber and creating confidence issues in decision makers. Wood treatments are perceived by the community as harmful or at least undesirable for both people and the environment. They can also limit end-of-life options, reducing wood sustainability credential and circular economy. The temporary storage nature of storing carbon in wood products and buildings is challenging to be accounted for, and it is challenged by competing materials such as concrete and steel. And there are issues in the perception of the sustainability credentials of monoculture plantation, which is also mining the overall sustainability credentials of our wood products and wood solutions. There are also questions about the capacity of the supply chain to sustain today's and future demand growth. And these are limiting the confidence of large-scale developers when they are strategizing on transitioning towards a low-carbon solutions. Therefore, improvements are needed on all aspects, from the growing to the processing, on the durability, strength, healthiness, and circularity options of our solutions. We need to improve on the supply capacity to enable more variety of species, products, and systems which are required by designers and by their clients. There are gaps in the education and skills of design and construction stakeholders, from designers to the construction sector practitioners, including quantity surveying that will be quantifying the cost during the design phase and will affect the value proposition right when the decision is made whether to choose and specify wood or not. There are gaps also in the skills and knowledge and awareness of building concept authorities and the finance and legal service providers that are complicating the pathways for using wood and specifying wood in design and construction projects. There are confidence and perception issues that needs to be addressed, and these are across a variety of decision makers and the general public. These again are across the design and construction stakeholders, quantity surveying, but also decision makers, including consent authorities and even the government. There is a lack of inclusion of some of the available species, products, systems and solutions within our standards and regulations. And the lack of robust data for their inclusion is often a barrier when it comes to design and specification of wood and wood solutions for building more sustainably with timber. We can't also yet fully value and quantify the holistic benefits that are generated across the value chain and over the wall of life of a forest, a product, a building and a city. The benefits that would create more social, environmental and economic benefits that could be exploited by our community. So what could we do about that? Learning from international initiatives, conferences, symposias and working groups that are currently focusing on the present and future of wood construction, aiming at enabling use of wood and wood products at scale, we learned that they are pointing at how relevant it is to having a united voice and working together across sectors, from the forestry to the wood products and design and construction sector, together into an integrated value chain or a value system. This in order to provide the right messaging and being able to evaluate the holistic benefits and present them to decision makers so that they can support the transition with confidence. This also, if we want to remove barriers and create more opportunities to increase the use of sustainably sourced wood, while also increasing forest areas. The common key building blocks coming from those international fora, and also the concluding take-home messages of my presentation today, are that we need to be backcasting from the future. We need to better understand our end users' needs. And we need to provide them with options and more solutions about the products that they will need, the species that they will be likely use, and the forests that they will be likely to source those products from. We need to be thinking about the designers. We need to be thinking about the clients of our clients in order to address their needs timely and with solutions that will meet their requirements. We need also to de-risk our products and systems. We need to de-risk our solutions. We need to improve durability issues of our wood products. We need to improve the sustainability outcomes of our chemical treatments. We need to enable more circular end of life through design for manufacturing and disassembling, but also through the use of bio-based solutions in the modification and treatments of our products. We need to improve our capacity to carbon account the benefits, the whole benefits of the full value system, from the forestry to the manufacturing and to the use of products in real life, in buildings. These are about carbon sequestration, carbon emission reduction during the manufacturing, and the long-term carbon storage in buildings. We need to improve design solutions, including building physics, to achieve durability and performance of our design and construction sector. And we need also to have quality verification methods and quality assurance control that would enable more confidence in the whole-of-life performance of our products and buildings. We need to plant more. We need to plant a bigger variety of species and more diverse forests that would meet the future demand of wood and wood products. We need to process more products, obviously onshore, and we need to have more design and construction solutions and technologies that will ensure confidence in ongoing supply capacity, but also in the options that are available to the design and construction sector to build larger buildings, taller buildings for a variety of uses, from the housing to also the commercial uses. We need to increase the variety of solutions for designers, again with more species and more products that will meet their specification requirements, both from an aesthetic point of view, but importantly, from a performance point of view. And we need to align our sector intent across the value chain in order to be able to amplify the value and capture the value that is generated at some point in the value chain, but actually harvested by other stakeholders in the same value system. And this in turn will provide resilience and more impact to the whole sector. We also need to design together within the sector change pathways that can be embraced by the building sector and, importantly, by policymakers that are making decisions and by the wider community that will need to accept a future built with more timber. The wider community is very important because those are the ones driving the demands. They are the clients of our clients. We need to cooperate across sector, as highlighted by the international initiatives, both within the wood value chain, the wood sector, and the supply chain, but also with other sectors that will benefit from sharing land uses, for example, and sharing value streams generated while trees are growing or while wood is processed into products. For example, using waste from wood processing to create added value products and streams, for example, biofuels. We need to educate, support, engage and inspire the variety of stakeholders and decision makers that will make decisions whether to choose or not wood for other materials. Those decision makers are coming from the design and construction sector, but also from the policy and regulatory sector, and importantly, again, from the wider community. And we need to be able to attract the demand from the wider community and support the availability of incentives and decision-making support towards our sector. So this is the conclusion of my presentation. And I now wish to thank you, SGR, for having me here today, and you all for being here together with us. And I'm keen to move to the question and session to the question session now, in order to further continue our discussion together. Kia ora.